Yeah, and let's make it clear. So it's not Donald Trump, his arraignment that'll happen Thursday or Friday has nothing to do with his decision not to attend the debate. It has more to do with the CBS poll that just came out that's got him up by 46 points. 46 points. Huge number. For more on all of this, let's welcome in former Pennsylvania Senator, presidential candidate, and senior Newsmax political contributor Rick Santorum on a Monday. I'm always reminded when I see polls like that, Senator, of that. So remember 1988. So Reagan's on the way out. George H.W. Bush is running. And Mike Dukakis is the only Democrat to jump in. The big names stayed out because Bush had check that, 1992. Bush had a 17-point lead over any Democratic candidate. That opened up the door for Bill Clinton, didn't it?
It sure did. And again, polls at this point, particularly national polls at this point, don't mean much. And the fact that the president's trumpeting this, the former president's trumpeting this, saying, I've got a big lead, I don't need to debate.
But it's got to mean something, right? 46 points. Like, these are absurd numbers, Senator.
Yeah, but the other absurd number is that 69% of Americans don't want him to run for president, and 75% of Americans don't want Joe Biden to run for president. And both of them are nationally are at 35 to 37% favorable rating. So you have two candidates there who, are not particularly popular, and that's who both parties seem to be dedicated to nominating for the presidency. I know we're going to talk about the debates, and I see this as a tremendous opportunity for the other Republicans. And they have an opportunity to be on stage and not be dominated by Donald Trump and have everything be focused on him and responding to him, but an opportunity to take their shots. I saw yesterday, I think it's the first senator I've seen who actually called for Donald Trump to drop out of the race, Bill Cassidy from Louisiana. And you say, well, that's just it's a one-off, it's an anomaly. Well, that's how things start. They start up one-off and it's an anomaly. And I think you're going to start to see, if I were in that debate and I were looking to actually win this nomination, you got to go after the top guy.
Absolutely.
And every debate I've been to almost 30 debates, presidential debates, and every single one of them, the folks who were trailing went after the guy that was ahead.
Senator, do you think should Trump drop out? Have you gotten there yet?
I'm not saying that Trump should. I've never said anybody should get in or drop out.
Right. I can feel Twitter fuming right now, but no, so he should stay in the race.
I'm just saying that you're starting to see some things happening, and if these candidates, who most of whom have not done anything to go after Trump, continue that approach, particularly if all of them, all but Asa Hutchinson and Chris Christie basically continue on this path, I don't see anything changing. I think that the only way this race changes is if all these other candidates decide, it's time to grab hands and jump in the pool together.
Okay.
I'm not sure that's going to happen. In fact, I doubt that's going to happen. But that's what I think. Something has to happen in this race, or Trump, in fact, is going to get the nomination.
We need a podcast where we can talk for like 45 minutes because there's so much to go through here, Senator. So, okay, is Wednesday night Ron DeSantis' last stand? And I just say that because start from his announcement on Twitter Spaces to where we are now, and then this weekend he called Trump supporters listless vessels, and then the Trump team, smartly, by the way, jumped all over that to try and further diminish DeSantis. But how important is it for the Florida governor to have a big night?
He has to have a good night. I don't know if he has to dominate the scene, but he certainly has to do well. He certainly has to be seen as the person who is the alternative to Trump. What I suspect will happen, as opposed to what I said earlier, is that the candidates on that stage will end up going after DeSantis instead of going after Trump in an attempt to try to be the alternative to Trump. And sort of try to rally those folks instead of going after Trump directly.
Okay,
that creates an opportunity. If you're the person that's being targeted at a debate, it's a tough night, but it's also a night because they're focused on you, where you can actually shine and show that you're up to it. So yes, I think it's a very important night for DeSantis.
Just quickly, you've been a part of more than 30 debates, presidential debates at the highest level. What did this past weekend and what do the next 2 days, 48 hours, look like for these candidates? Because a lot of these candidates, Perry Johnson's going to be on that stage. We had him on Friday. He wasn't sure. He qualified. Doug Burgum's going to be on that stage. For everyone not named Donald Trump, this could be make or break.
Yeah, the question for those who are sort of at the borderline of the of the debate, where they're at the end of the stage because they have the lowest polling numbers and all that kind of stuff. You don't get too many moments. I was there for most of these debates. I got half or less than half the time of the person in the middle who was the leading candidate. So you have to take advantage of the shots that you have.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys, I suspect, are prepping with advisors and speechwriters,
running mocks and doing that kind of thing.
What are the things they're going to do that are going to grab attention to me? And the interesting is, you don't know what questions you're going to get. So you've got to be prepared for a variety of different issues and have something that could be a zinger that gets you some attention.
Did you memorize zingers before your debates?
I did not.
Oh, I would have. I would have.
No, I know. Look, 99.9% of the people do. I approached debate differently than I think most people did. I really didn't see it as a chance to zing people. I saw it as a chance for people to see who I was, to try to be as authentic and genuine, and get people to sort of connect with you, as opposed to see you as a robot firing line.
Right. And it worked for you. It worked for you well back in 2012. Senator, we will have you back this week. It's going to be exciting to see how this all plays out on Wednesday night. Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum, a presidential candidate back in 2012. Great to see you again. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.